While I was waiting to open up my new SL2-S, I was expecting quality, but after handling it in person, I was even more impressed than I thought. The body is solid as a brick and feels heavy. It doesn't flex or creak or give way at all. Almost every detail is a step up from the CL. The buttons have just the right resistance to touch. They're easy to press but not wobbly like some cheaper construction might be. Missing is the directional button pad, but it's replaced with the rubber joystick control higher up on the top right. That makes a lot of sense and it makes it easier to control. There are several additional unlabeled buttons that can be assigned any function by a simple press and hold. The on-off toggle is separated now and moved over to the top left, and the shutter release is silver and moved even further forward, which takes some getting used to. On top is the hot shoe connector, which is left exposed. I'm wondering why they didn't include a hot shoe cover like the CL and Q2. The resolution and clarity of the electronic viewfinder is superior to the Q2, and even the rear touchscreen seems upgraded to me. It looks sharper and higher contrast and feels even more responsive to taps and swipes. It's almost iPhone 12 quality. The monochrome top LCD display also really stood out. The resolution and crispness looks almost a decade ahead of the top display on the CL. There's a very solid, firm door on the right for the two SD cards. It's very satisfying to close and not a chance of accidental opening. But the door on the left for the ports is a flimsy rubber. I would have preferred a solid snapping door like the one on the right, but I'm sure there was some reasoning to this, maybe to avoid breakage of the door. Battery is the same as the Q2, so that's very handy, always having two batteries. And you can also charge the battery directly by plugging in a USB cable without taking the battery out of the camera. The 24-70 f2.8 zoom lens was bundled with the camera. It's cheaper than the 24-90 and bundling saves even more. But from what I hear, the lens quality is not quite as good as the 24-90. It also doesn't have the in-lens stabilization, so now you have to rely on the camera body for stabilization. This makes it somewhat smaller and lighter than the 24-90, but it's still a heavy lens, and I usually need to use both hands to hold the system. This is my first experience with the zoom lens, but the zoom ring adjustment seems to have less resistance than I would expect. It's smooth all the way around, but I would have liked some more stoppage or detents at each focal length, just to make it easier to stop at exactly the right focal length. Instead, you need to check the display to see at what exact focal length you're at. The camera strap is fabric instead of the all-leather strap included in the CL and Q2, and it has small padding at the shoulder, but I think they could have made the strap a little wider just because the camera and lens are so large and heavy. So overall, I have very little to complain about the design, except I would have liked a solid door on the left for the ports, a wider strap, and more resistance to the focal length ring. But the camera goes beyond just the specifications. Even just sitting on the desk, it's a pleasure to look at. It's like a work of art in itself, and picking it up just reinforces that and makes it fun to use. I much prefer the blacked out look on the front compared to the white lettering on the SL2, and I'm glad they kept the red dot and the textured leatherette covering. Looking forward to shooting with this. If you have any questions, leave them below, and thanks for watching. I'll make some other reviews once I take some more photos with this.